Hey, what's up, Mission Pro Wrestling
Hello.
fans? Welcome to another special edition of On a Mission. I'm not Emily, I'm front row. Joining me, as always, is the incredible Veda Scott. Veda, how are you
Hi.
tonight?
I'm good. I'm good. Pumped to be here.
Awesome. Well, our special guest, Gypsy Mac, is going to be joining us in just a few minutes. But I wanted to sort of find out what was up with you. You've been all over the place lately. How's travel been? How are you feeling?
Yeah, I feel really good. Where was I this past weekend? I was up in Ottawa, Ontario for C4 to call that. And then I actually got to call a wrestling show in my hometown on Saturday, which was pretty cool. And then on Sunday, or yesterday? Sunday. No, today's Tuesday. Sunday, I was in Durham, North Carolina, actually. Is that near you?
Yes.
For Deadlock, for DPW, calling that. So yeah, a bunch of cool stuff, a lot of great wrestling, a lot of travel, and I'm super pumped to be here though, and I'm really excited to get back to San Antonio finally. For October, because I have never been to a Mission Pro show like in Texas. Well, that's not true. I did the one in Dallas during Mania week, but I mean like a like a full the full crew.
Yeah, Bangers Only. That was a crazy show. That was a
Mm-hmm.
stacked card, and that whole GCW weekend. Man, just crazy shows that whole weekend. It was really cool.
Yep. But I'm really excited to finally do a Mission Pro show in San Antonio. So I'm pumped.
I think you're gonna love it. I've been to a bunch of the San Antonio shows now, and the crowds there are super dedicated, super energetic, a lot of fun. People always turn out. We always tell people who are coming there, maybe wrestling for the first time, make sure you bring your merch. Make sure
Yep.
everybody brings your merch because people are crazy for merch at the Mission Pro shows. I want to talk Thriller for a second, but I want to give a shout out. Man, the chat is full already tonight. I see Matthew's in there, and Ezra is Ezra. My lovely wife, Mrs. Front Row, is in the chat. Chris is in there, Mongrovian Mike, and Walter. Man, all kinds of people. So, oh, RA is in there. Brandon. Oh my goodness, people filing in every second.
Yeah.
So Thriller's really shaped up to be a crazy card. It's been a wild build. We saw the whole thing sort of started out with uh, Black Swan answering JP Harlow's challenge, the open casket challenge. So that was our first match announced, and that's going to be, man, that's going to be exciting to see how that one goes. And of course, we have Tiffany Nieves defending her Mission Pro title against Christina Marie, and we of course have Morgan Mercy versus Gypsy Mac. And I see Gypsy Mac has joined us. Why don't we
Yay.
go ahead and bring her in if she is ready? Let's see. Here we are. Hello, Gypsy.
Hi.
How are
Hi, how are you
you?
guys?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Is my camera work? Okay,
There we
there we
go.
go.
There we go. We see you now.
Oh
Awesome.
yeah, you look super cute. You got to keep the camera
Oh,
on.
thank you.
Okay, so we're gonna dive right into it. On our Thursday show on Unmatched, Morgan Mercy, we announced your match with her. She had some very strong words to say and sort of was dismissive of the match. And I saw your response on Twitter, but I don't know if everybody in the chat sort of got a feel for your strong thoughts on this. Can you share with us how you're feeling?
I'm ready. I'm super excited. I've seen Morgan talking a lot online, so I'm kind of happy to be the one to put her in her place at Mission Pro.
Okay, that she's a formidable challenge.
Yeah, I think she has it coming, especially with all the talking that she's doing online. So I don't mind making her debut a little unfortunate.
Okay. Well, I wanted to ask you a few questions because I think a lot of us have gotten to know you. You've been a Mission Pro before. You've been in a number one contenders match back on Keep 'em Talking, but this is your first big singles match on a major pay per view like this. And of course, our shows just get bigger and bigger. We were just talking about Christina Marie challenging Tiffany Nieves for her title. We have Maya World and Izzy Moreno, and so many great matches. Um, Looking at that card, are there, assuming assuming you get the big win this show on October 21st at Thriller, are there anybody else on the Mission Pro roster that you have an interest in facing?
There's a couple of people. One of them is definitely Maya. She's been on a rise lately, and I would like to get in there with her and work with her, especially since I haven't had a chance to work with her before.
Okay. Yeah, Maya is currently undefeated in Mission Pro. She's looking to continue that undefeated streak against Izzy Moreno. He is looking to get her first win after her debut at Mission Pro. So, yeah, Maya's a good pick.
That's an exciting matchup between the two of them then.
Yeah,
It's intriguing.
I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see Izzy wrestle live for the first time. I wasn't at the last Mission Pro event where she made her debut. I watched the match later. I mean, I think everybody watched the match. Like,
Yeah.
whether it was live or later, like all eyes were on Mission Pro, and I'm really excited to see her live. But that kind of goes to my next point: is all eyes are on Mission Pro. Like, it's never been hotter, and especially, we've gotten a lot of people looking in to see how Izzy's doing, and they're finding new favorites. Like, how do you think Gypsy Mac connects with fans who are maybe watching Mission Pro for the first time?
I think I'm very relatable to the people of Mission Pro. I'm not a stranger to the San Antonio, Texas area before, and I have lucha in my background, which I know is big in the San Antonio like area, especially it being like my heritage coming from being Hispanic. So I think I connect to those kind of fans. And then especially like I'm kind of an underdog. I haven't been there in 2 years. And it's kind of nerve-wracking for me to be back because now I have a point to prove that I want to keep coming back.
Well, from as you know, we've interviewed some people here on a mission who, had a little bit of a break between the last time they were at Mission Pro. So it's not a debut per se, but a lot of people have called it a re-debut. What's different about Gypsy Mac now than what fans of Mission Pro maybe saw 2 years ago?
I feel like a lot, actually. The last time I was at Mission Pro, I came back from a knee injury. It was my first singles match. So all eyes were kind of on me. I was wrestling against Jasmine, who is a super hot topic all over the country right now. So I think I was a little nervous the first time going in. So I definitely wasn't on my A game. But this time, I think it's going to be a lot different. I moved to Vegas. I'm getting the different training now. I've been busting my butt in and out of the gym. So I think it'll be a really good re-debut, if you want to call that.
Well, I've seen you mention that some of your influences in lucha, obviously with Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero and those people. Are there other people that you incorporate styles or draw inspiration from?
There's a few others. I really like Sasha Banks's or Mercedes Monet, whatever you want to call her now. I like her style because she incorporates lucha, but she also incorporates like the American kind of aspect. And that's what I kind of look for when it comes to my technique in wrestling. A lot of other people that I like to watch are like the Lucha Bros on AEW. I like to see all the crazy stuff that they do.
So I have a question unrelated to wrestling, but it kind of came off something from the chat and my own curiosity. I see you have a large wall of pops behind you.
Yes.
Is there a theme going on there? Because I can't quite see the specifics of what's going on.
Kinda. So this is all of like my wrestling ones in this section, and then I'm a huge Tim Burton fan, so this is all like Tim Burton.
Okay, I think I see an
Focus.
Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah, that's this one right here.
All right, it's coming together now that you're telling us what the category is. It's a lot easier.
Yeah, my favorite though is this one. It's a John Cena, but he's clear. You can't see him. It's so funny. That's the greatest one I have.
Awesome.
I love that one. I have that one. I probably have maybe 200 in here. I love the John Cena one. My wife actually had I have it over here on the shelf of Funko of me. It's one of a kind of me. It's really cool.
I have a couple that people have made for me, and they're incredible. Like, what a cool thing to do for someone. But yeah, I just had to know. I'm not a collector per se, but like I'll pick one up here and there when they're cute, or I get them gifted to me a lot. So I had to know the Tim Burton wall is pretty cool. That's pretty.
Thank you. I used to collect them a lot. I used to work at Hot Topics, so yeah, that's where a lot of these came from. And I kind of stopped when I moved because I don't have enough space.
Yeah.
So I had to sell a lot of them, but I kept the ones that I really like.
Yeah. Well, front row, you were saying that your shelf space behind you is starting to get full. So
It is.
you know.
It
It's
is
an
my actually.
addiction.
I have shelving all around the room with Funko Pops too high and all the way around the room. So, but there's always a couple that you're missing. There's always new movies and TV shows that come out, and I'm on the hunt for all of the Buffy the Vampire Slayer ones. I only have a few of them,
Oh.
so I've got to. I'm on the lookout for the rest of those. Are there any that you're sort of missing that is sort of your holy grail?
I really want a Rhea Ripley.
Ooh.
She's one of my favorite wrestlers, and I don't have her, which is kind of funny to me. But I think she would look so good because I have China, so I just want to put her next to her.
And Rhea has those China vibes for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Well, so then then I have to ask the next natural question. I know you've been to Mission Pro before, but this is the first time I've gotten to talk to you. I got to know, like, what's your wrestling inspiration? I know you talked about who you like to watch, but like, what got you into this?
Since I was a little kid, I was into wrestling. My brothers, my dad, my mom even watched it. I always like to tell people my first wrestling show was when my mom was pregnant with me. So I was just kind of destined to always be in this spotlight, I feel. So when I was about 23, one of my friends who became my trainer started up a school because no one wanted to train me in my hometown. So he took the leap and made the school, and 4 years later now, here we are, a bunch of students.
Awesome.
So it's been kind of a crazy journey.
Very cool.
Yeah, that's crazy because and this is the question I always ask people, like women's wrestling is in such a great place right now. There's obviously continued work to be done. But as growing up and being a fan of the Attitude Era and seeing where things are now across pretty much all the major promotions, how are you feeling about the state of women's wrestling and where do you think you might see yourself fitting in some of the bigger companies?
I think women's wrestling right now is probably the best it's ever been. Like you said, growing up in the Attitude Era, it was all sexy bra and panties matches. Like, oh, you have to have like some sort of sex appeal to even get looked at back in the day. Whereas now it's your athleticism, it's what you do in the ring, it's how you present yourself all around, which is really cool because that's something I never thought I was going to be able to do growing up and seeing, I love her, but like the Trish Stratuses and like the Stacy Keeblers and stuff, I'm like, oh, I'm never going to look like that. I'm never going to be able to become a wrestler. But then seeing the indie side, I was like, oh, there's normal like people that do this, and there's like a way that you don't have to be a model. So that's something that I love about how women's wrestling is right now. And as far as getting on the, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead. Good. Sorry.
I was just going to say, as far as getting on like the bigger promotions, that's why I moved to Vegas. Is I'm from New Mexico. There's nothing there. There's maybe one or two promotions, and there's not women's wrestlers. I'm the only one. So taking this leap of faith and moving to Vegas, I think it's going to help me try and get on those bigger shows like Shine, or even like moving to Canada for a while and doing something out there.
So I gotta ask, we mentioned Rhea Ripley because you're looking for the pop, and you mentioned Mercedes Moné. If you could just magically book yourself in one dream match, we gotta know. This tells you a lot about a person. We gotta know. Who would it be?
That's so hard because I'm like, it changes.
I know it's hard. I hate answering this question. That's why I ask it.
I think I would say Asuka.
All right.
I love Japanese wrestling. Like Joshi wrestling has always been super intriguing to me. And I think going through someone like that and being put to the test would really determine how you are in the ring and what you need to do and how you can learn from someone like that.
Okay, that's not a bad choice. We'll allow that for sure. I'd like to see that.
That would be awesome. It's funny. It's actually on my list of questions to ask if you'd be interested in going to Japan, because your style feels like it would fit very well in the strong women's division. Very hard hitting, very physical, and that's sort of the New Japan women's division style, and Tokyo Joshi Pro specifically. Yeah, I think that'd be amazing. I would love to see you perform in a Tokyo Joshi Pro ring. It'd be incredible.
That's one of the goals for me. Is I really want to go to Japan and go train with all of those women out there. Right now, there's Sandra Moon out from Vegas is out there training, and she's killing it. Like, I'm so proud of her because she's been wanting this for a long time. So hopefully
Yes.
one day I can follow in her footsteps.
Yes, she's out there with Marvelous, which is among one of my favorite promotions. And yeah, I'm honestly excited to have her back in the States just so she can show off what she's learned because it's going to be a whole different wrestler. And that's why I totally
Oh yeah.
understand why you would like to do, a long training excursion. Awesome.
Well, I think that's an interesting point, Veda, that you bring up. So many people have the opportunity now to travel all over the world and get training and influences from so many different styles. We're seeing these hybrid style of wrestling. It's really cool to see.
Mm-hmm.
And the American audience, I feel like, is really starting to be exposed to more international flavors, especially with Tokyo Joshi Pro or any of the ICW, any of the international UK brands as well. So it's the internet. Okay, I'm old, so bear with me, but the internet has given us the ability to see all kinds of different wrestling. Right, back in the day, there was tape trading and all this stuff, but now Gypsy Mac will be seen all over the world on pay-per-view on a regular basis, and I just think that's super cool.
It's a lot of pressure. So
Yeah.
don't lose. I mean,
No, it's crazy that you
someone
bring
probably
that
has
up.
to lose, but maybe. I
Oh
don't know.
yeah, not me. I have a point to prove this time. This is her first time here.
Yeah, that's a great attitude. So one of the other questions that I always ask people is, it's a hot topic, of social media. Some folks sort of get maybe negative feedback from social media, and then some folks figure out how to sort of use it to their advantage. Are you a fan of using social media as from a character standpoint, or how do you feel about it?
I'm really big on social media. I feel like the platform that I have for wrestling wouldn't be where it is today if I didn't have it. Especially, like I said earlier, wrestling in only New Mexico, I would never be seen by anyone. So, social media kind of helps me build my brand and showcase people in different countries and different regions who I am as a wrestler.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. I would not have become a fan of some of the people I'm a fan of now without social media. That's sort of where I came across a lot of the names now who are on the big stage. We get to see and invest ourselves in the journey of either independent talents as they sort of go up to, up through their adventure. So it's really cool. Um, yeah. So the other thing that I was wanted to talk to you about was your journey. You talked about your injury, you talked about your training. Where do you see yourself fitting in um, from a, oh, I'm sorry, I got my questions confused. From the one of the things that I was really interested in was your thoughts on intergender wrestling, because I've seen you be a strong proponent of it, as am I. Um, do you think that the industry will continue to maybe not shine a light on it, or do you think we're going to get there someday?
I think we're going to get there someday. Like we were talking about Rhea Ripley earlier, she's been bumping the men and throwing them around. And it's kind of crazy to see it on something as a platform like WWE because they're always so kind of against it. So hopefully, I think as long as it makes sense and the matchup works, I don't see it not getting pushed as much as it should.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's so many opportunities for people to have these great matchups. We see, like you say, Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair, and we don't know what's going to happen with the Jade Cargill, right? She's a free agent and maybe showing up on our TV somewhere else sooner rather than later. And she is one of those people that presents a very physical presence. But I don't necessarily think that that's necessary. That it's necessary to have a larger physical presence, like a Becky Lynch, for example, or like you said, Asuka. Um, so I just want to remind the folks in the chat, please make sure that if you're going to be in the San Antonio area, you go to missionprowrestling.com for tickets for October 21st. If you're interested in sponsorship opportunities at missionprowrestling@gmail.com, give us an email. We'll get right back to you. If you're not able to be there in person, which would be kind of a bummer, check us out on Title Match Network, 6 p.m. Central Bell Time on October 21st. Thriller's going to be awesome.
I'm pumped.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm super excited. It's my birthday month too, so
Yay.
I like
Nice.
spooky season.
Well, there will be a costume contest.
Yeah, I think I'm judging the costume contest. I don't
I've heard
know.
that. You're a good judge. You're a good judge. We trust you. Fair and impartial.
Very excited.
Okay, the last question I have for you, and I know that everybody's time is precious, and I genuinely appreciate you joining us tonight. There's this concept of new kayfabe that I hear, and it's this idea of wrestlers being able to bring in their real life into storylines. Are you a fan of bringing that your real life story into a storyline, character driven thing, or are you more of a fan of the traditional good guy bad guy dynamic?
I like both. Um, I know this is like kind of messed up, but the storyline of like Lita, Edge, and Matt Hardy, like that actually happened in real life and they played a storyline and it worked out so well that I think depending on the situation, you could do it as long as it's something not crossing anyone's boundaries at the end of the day.
Okay. Vid, I don't think I've ever asked you about that.
Oh, I'm just me. So I think for me, I mean, my possible controversial opinion of wrestling is that it's performance art. And I feel like you should always share as much as you feel comfortable with. I mean, I find a lot of value in just being my like real and authentic self, especially because I do a lot of like streaming and I travel a lot and I meet a lot of people. And I just like, I really cherish that genuine experience. And I'm fine with that. However, I think like, you know, if you want to have fun with it and be more like character driven, like that's fine too, as long as we like don't insult the intelligence of, you know, our supporters, I guess is the main thing. But yeah, like everyone has a right if you want to be like more private about how you like approach wrestling and kind of keep that separation, sure. But also to me, honestly, and again, this might be the controversial part. I think the coolest part about pro wrestling is the way that it is like real, live, interactive theater that's being like scripted in front of your face, and I think that's the coolest thing. And if and I think that that's what I want people to take away from pro wrestling. So if that means that there's a lot less like kayfabe or secrecy, then I'm all for that. But I also understand that there's a lot of people who like to have fun with that and be more, you know, like character driven, and I appreciate that too. As long as we're not, you know, putting up the walls to keep people out, I think that that's okay too. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just me.
I mean, I don't know, Gypsy, if you feel the same way, but I get drawn into stories where I feel like there's dimension to it, whether it's real life background or relationships or real life, you know, feuds. Even if it's not real life, I want to believe it. I am most invested in wrestling when I am forgetting everything else, when I'm drawn into the story. So to your point, Veda, however that happens, I'm not boxed in. Just make me believe.
Yeah, I think we've
No,
moved past the point of like trying to trick people, and as long as you're like respectful about that, and don't try to take advantage of people, like have fun.
Yeah, I would agree. Gypsy, your thoughts?
I agree with her like 100%. She said it so well that, you know, if you want to go out and be more character driven, that's fine. But if you also kind of want to be yourself, I feel like wrestling has evolved so much that that's also fine too. I'm kind of like in between my
Mm-hmm.
character because I do tarot readings in my personal life and stuff, and I kind of bring that into wrestling. So I like the aspect of both.
Yep.
That's interesting. That's really interesting because the idea of giving people that experience, it's all about giving people the experience and the moments and the memories, whatever that looks like. So yeah, I'm here for all of it. It's really fun. Okay, Gypsy, I really appreciate you. We really appreciate your
Yes.
time
Thank
tonight. We are
you.
super excited to see your matchup with Morgan Mercy October 21st at Thriller. It's going to be an amazing show. I'm super happy that you're going to be part of it. Any last words? Anything, anywhere you're going to be that you want to share with folks?
I'm going to be in California, Utah, up in Vegas the next couple of months. I'm branching back out to Texas for Mission Pro, which is the first time in a while. I think like 6 months since I've been to Texas again, now that I'm on the West Coast. So I hope everyone comes out. And it's my birthday month. So y'all better come and tell me hi and happy birthday.
Well, one thing we always let people know is Mission Pro fans are full of energy, really excited to see all the wrestlers, and they want to see your merchandise. So bring merchandise.
We
Merch
love
mania.
merchandise.
Mission Pro fan support, like it's unbelievable. So yeah, come armed with whatever you have because people want to support you.
I will stuff my suitcase.
Awesome. Well, where can people find you on the socials?
On Instagram, it's the Gypsy Mac. On Twitter, I believe it's Gypsy Mac. G and M are capitalized. And then I also have a YouTube channel as well, and it's just Gypsy Mac Wrestler.
Awesome.
Awesome. Terrific. Well, thank you again for joining us tonight. We will see you in October. And good
Yes.
luck.
Thank you guys for
Thank
having me. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, Gypsy's awesome.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see this match.
I'm so pumped. You know, she has that same vibe, that same mentality that we've seen with a lot of people who have had a little break between their actual, proper debut and now, and have really just, grown, not just grown themselves as competitors, but Mission Pro has grown so much in the past 2 years. So it's really like a re-debut, and I think she's ready for it.
Yeah, I think that's a great point because the audience, the fan base has grown so much over the last few years since she's been in a Mission Pro ring. And as you said, so many competitors take time off, or they go away, or they're just they refocus and they come back stronger, better, faster. And it's
so I'm excited.
Agreed. Yeah. Awesome. Well, Veda, thank you so much for joining us tonight. As always, where can people find you? What do you have going on? Tell us.
If you're not already following me, follow me on the X. I'm not doing that. Twitter. At It's Veda Time. That's usually where, for now at least, everything kind of comes through there. I also have an Instagram that's oftentimes linked off of there. My YouTube channel, my Patreon, my website, all of that. It's all off for now, it's off Twitter / the X.
Awesome. And I'm PW Front Row across all the socials. Make sure to check me out on Saturday nights as well on the Nation's Corner. Thursday night, Trenda and I will be hosting Unmatched. As always, it's going to be a fun show talking about the latest and greatest in women's wrestling. We may have a special guest. Stay tuned. Stay tuned to the socials. We have Match Mondays, where we debut new matches every week. And there's a lot of stuff coming out on the socials and on our YouTube channel leading up to Thriller, October 21st on Title Match Network. Everyone, thanks for joining us. I appreciate you all. Y'all have a great week. We'll see you on Thursday. Bye.